Hello and welcome to a semi-rambly sort of announcement blog theme jiggered janky thing. So, I have a Reddit, or a subreddit now, and the reason I've done a subreddit, right, is because it's way better for discussion. Its upvote system is better. Okay, as long as people don't downvote troll, but in general, Reddit is a lot better for structured talk than, say, what's that other thing called that I use? Yeah, YouTube, that thing. So it's better than YouTube for comments and things like that. If I'm doing Q&As, that sort of thing, it's a little bit of a better place to try to harvest comments from. So in general, I would actually like to get a subreddit going and maybe get a little bit more active, I suppose. I'm not expecting anything crazy in terms of numbers, but if we could get a few hundred people in there eventually, it would be really nice. Now, I have had the subreddit for about 20 days, but I never bothered to do anything with it, and basically I got scared by style sheets and ran away. But I've now decided actually just to stick a banner up there, and I'll start posting my videos there. In terms of, like, Reddit itself, by the way, if anyone doesn't use the site, it's probably, well, it is literally just the easiest thing to sign up to. I don't even think they send you a confirmation email thing. You just make an account and you're good. It's ultra quick. There's no spam, no emails sent to you to, like, hassle you or anything. So it really is ultra easy. And it's just a great place for, just for chatting and hanging out and being involved with things. It's the kind of thing where, actually, and this is really, it spawns from another problem. A lot of the time, I have a lot of problems with YouTube comments, and people's comments actually, some of you maybe have noticed that you leave a comment and then you go back and it's disappeared. Well, I can guarantee, like, I have not deleted a comment from anyone in, like, 2 months or something. Last time it was some troll that said a bunch of racist shit, so I had to delete that. But, I've not deleted anything yet, and it's just the spam filter that YouTube has. It keeps on gobbling up people's messages and throwing them into the ether, and the only way I ever know about these spam messages is by specifically going onto a video and then searching for the different messages that have been removed and then whitelisting them. That just takes a bunch of time for me. Then there's also a problem where sometimes I just can't respond to people. Like, the reply button isn't there. It's just like, what? Why can't I reply, YouTube? So yeah, that is a little bit of an annoying thing. And yeah, whatever. Look, Reddit should be fun, and in general, it's quite nice. So what other things can I talk about in this video? Because I probably should fill it out a little bit so that I'm not slumping in the content. Well, right now this week I am trying to work ahead. I spent like literally like 14 hours yesterday working on various projects and things with YouTube. I have my cinematic flyover process. I applied that to the entire circumference of Kalimdor, and I'd like to do that for every other continent, but damn, I don't know if I'll find the time. Still though, I'm trying to build up loads of stock footage so that whenever I do those big discussion videos, I just have some footage to throw in there. Right now I have a bit of a problem with those, where actually getting the footage can take upwards of 6 hours, because I need to go around or not 6 minutes, just say 4 hours. I need to go around all the different places in World of Warcraft, film everything by hand. So if I have a decent stock library, then it should help me out a lot in terms of that kind of thing. So that's one of the things I've been doing. In terms of other stuff, well, it's really just been working ahead and trying to get lore videos ready. I'm heading back to university next week. I won't have much downtime though, because I'm bringing my computer with me, and of course it always starts off slow and then ramps up into absolute craziness. I'd like to get some time to raid. I haven't really been able to raid in months now. I think two or three, which is kind of sucks. And I want to get that garage heirloom at some point, so I'll have to do that. In terms of other things, the next big World of Warcraft event to come up is the Warlords of Draenor beta, and from everything that I can gather, they will be doing first of all a media beta and then a closed beta for everyone else, which does represent a bit of a problem. I don't have any PR contact with Blizzard, though I did find out that they have an email address called pr@blizzard.com, so I'm going to try that, and if not, I have a few email addresses for their PR managers, though they don't seem to be specific World of Warcraft ones, they seem to be Blizzard ones. I don't know, like, it was strange. For Hearthstone, I was able to send an email to the Hearthstone CM, and then she added me to a fansite list. I don't think you can do that with World of Warcraft, and it really is weird. Like, I don't know how to get in. I think there's one or two other YouTubers that I know, that have a friend at Blizzard, and that friend can get them things. So, I need a friend at Blizzard. So there's that. I don't know. I think, like, I was talking to Danger Dolan a bit. He was just saying, yeah, you're probably just best trying to get your subscribers to try to source a key for you. I'm thinking, well, the chances of that actually happening are kind of low, because it's going to be some crazy ass press beta where you need to be all like legitimate media to get in. So I know I'll probably just write some email saying, I deliver a high quality content on a daily basis with blah 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 1,000 views a day, meh, 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 and try to be all professional and sell myself or something like that. So I know what's going to happen there. I'm going to get into the beta. I want to just go full Total Biscuit. I wouldn't do better than Total Biscuit, honestly, because I think that I could. Another thing about the beta is this media access thing. It's like, it could be a great boon to the channel if I do get in, because it's not like the Panda one, or the Pandaria one, where everyone can get in. It's just like a few people, so the demand is there. That seems like really... I know, it definitely does favor us YouTube-y people, I suppose, but... Hey, that's only if you can get in, and 15,000 subscribers. While I absolutely still kind of amazed the fact that I have 15,000, that sort of blows my mind. It's probably still not that much in the grand scheme of things. Like, compare me to Krantor, or Noble, or hell, Danger Dolan, all the other people who are all like 3 or 4 times larger. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll grow the channel. Things will get better. And, honestly, it's the kind of thing where it's weird. I think that if I play my cards right in the next year or two, then this could be a full-time gig. It's kind of weird. Like, half of me wants to do the indie game development thing with a friend of mine, and I guess I could probably use YouTube to sort of fund, maybe start up some company if it were to go well, because it would only be a 2 or 3 person thing, which would be fine. But no, I know we have some really, really cool ideas for games. Especially 1 or 2 things that it's pretty much subject matter that hasn't really been tackled in games before. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, obviously, because, it's our own thing, and it's not like I'm scared of people stealing it. It's more that you don't want to announce something, and then it may never happen. But we have, like, things sort of planned with that. Ideally, I would like to have some sort of game come out in the summer, so I'd probably, I don't know, if development were ever to rack up on a game, what will probably happen is I'll just do, like, a weekly dev diary on the channel, where me and the other guy... By the way, the other guy is the person who appeared in the human-female model video and said, "You have an exam tomorrow!" That was Thomas, and of course I can't do that voice, because he's an actory person and I'm not. But anyway, games are really fun. Making games is even more fun. And I'd like to be able to make a game. And by the way, don't worry, in terms of price points and things, I'll be keeping stuff cheap. Don't worry. Like, our main plan, right, is to make a game that is like 2 hours and charge like £2 or £3, ultra cheap. And the reason we do that is because there's this show, it's called Extra Credits. I know this is a rambly video, but screw it, I'm rambling. There's this show called Extra Credits on YouTube. It's mainly by a guy called James Portnow. He's a really, really clever game design consultant guy. He's working a bunch of companies with a bunch of different projects, many of which you've probably played. But what he was saying about indie games is often they get their core mechanics down, and then they just put in like 10 hours worth of levels, and then it's just bad because there's no pacing or flow or fun in the game. They add loads and loads and loads of content, but they don't have the base mechanics there. So instead of just being lazy and adding all those extra levels, which by the way are easy to add in comparison to actually making really solid mechanics, we were just thinking of having a cheap game that costs a few quid, maybe a bit less, and then throw that out. And of course I would, like, obviously because it's my subscribers, I'm not going to like charge you guys full price, so I don't know, I'll try to find some promo code, or maybe if we sell it via website, I'll just promo code the hell out of the lot of yous for like 50% off or something. So yeah, by the way, yeah, I probably would have to charge. I'll give a shit ton away for free, but the reason I have to charge is because when you spend your entire summer doing a game, which may be what happens, it is in lieu of a part-time summer job, and yeah, you still have to make ends meet. Look, I know you all understand, because you guys are cool. So there's that. Let's see, what have I talked about? I've talked about the Reddit, I've talked about the game, I've talked about the beta. What other things? Discussion videos. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of discussion videos. Not a lot, but obviously I couldn't do a lot, I'd explode. I have one in the works, it's actually nearly finished. Actually, no, I think, it is finished. I rendered it last night. What am I talking about? It's about Mythic Dungeons, so that should be fun. I like these discussion videos, actually. I'm not really too sure how to just, like, I don't know, get them into the hands of people, but I'm still going to do them. And honestly, it's nice to have one or two of them just sitting in lieu for when there's a day where there's literally no news, so you can just put out one large video to do it. That's kind of a thing that may happen. But still, yeah, like, they are fun to do, those discussion videos. At some point, I really want to do one just on games in general, and the industry, and game design, and all those various things, because I think it's the kind of thing that if it comes from a person who's relatively well informed with a fuck ton of experience about all that, then it can work. Like, in terms of me personally, I've been playing games since... Well, actually, no, I've been playing games since I was 10, but since I was 10, I made up for not playing that much when I was young. No, I wasn't 10, I think it was like 8 when I got my PS2, but... Yeah, I know, I've been both consoles and PC for a long time. I've completely abandoned consoles now because, like, I have a really good PC, so there's just no point in consoles, other than, say, look, Halo 5, which I'm sorry, I will play. I know people have this, like, anti-Halo, anti-Xbox thingy. I love Halo, I'm gonna play it. But through all that, and then through the course I'm doing at university, and the experience I've have actually making prototypes and different things like that, I really love game design, and you'll probably see it in my discussion videos where, instead of, like, I think a lot of people in criticism or critique, not criticism, critique videos, that is what I do. Actually, there was this guy yesterday, it kind of pissed me off. He just said, "Oh, you fucking hate World of Warcraft. Why do you even do this anymore?" It's like, really? I love World of Warcraft, but I am also a person who thinks critique is extremely important. And actually, as game creators, there's this sort of thing in the design creating community where everyone embraces critique. They don't like just blind criticism, and honestly, blind love of everything they do is probably just as annoying in some cases. What people love is critique, because it really is helpful. It's about, like, really identifying the problems and then trying to offer some solutions. Obviously, identifying problems is the easier thing to do, and then having solutions is, of course, far harder, which is why game design is it's kind of impossible to design the perfect game, really. So I'm definitely going to say that because I don't have the depth of experience of many, I'm going to have a harder time suggesting solutions than someone who's been designing games for 20 years and has shipped titles under their belt. But I still think I can do a pretty good job, and even if a video is mainly identifying the critiques, then that at least provides a bit of a base for people to think, okay, so here's some of the problems, and this is where we can sort of have a base just to think of solutions from. So, at any rate, I really do like doing these discussion videos. I think it's really important as well. And, yeah, don't worry, even if I talk, like, things that are perhaps a bit negative about WoW, I still love the game. I still think it's the best MMO out there. That's why I play it so much. Well, okay, maybe, do I play it so much? I don't have the time to play it as much as I used to. It's funny, YouTube's kind of like eating into my WoW time severely. Ah, well. I think in Warlords I'll just have to not sleep so that I can both YouTube and play the game. It should be kind of crazy. What other things are there to talk about? I should really go into videos like this with notes instead of winging it all the time. But, yeah, this is what you get. I'm winging it. Oh, yes, actually, I should probably say, what do people think about me doing other games? I don't mean as a full-time thing, but, like a first impression kind of review-y thing. I guess like a mixture of, say, what NerdCube does with his 101s, or his like first look videos, and maybe a Total Biscuit thing. Really, it's just the sort of thing I do from time to time irregularly, so that if there is maybe a day where there's no WoW news, I can just throw up maybe a Q&A and then a little first look at a game or something. I have this thing where I do like having lots of content on the channel, and I am someone who plays a lot of games, so I don't know, maybe that would be worthwhile. I think one thing, though, with those first impression videos that's really important is you need to go in having your first impressions being a thing that you've already played. Now, I'm going to probably get a little bit of a diss here from people, but I think a good example of how to do this wrong is NerdCube's Alpha Detective series. Not the series in general, but specifically his Hearthstone stuff. Like, he went into that without pre-playing the game. He went in without knowing anything. And he just basically spread misinformation to a good, like, of course, look at this, how many subscribers he has, many thousands of people, he spread misinformation to them. And I actually think that's rather irresponsible from the perspective of a YouTuber, and he tried to get out of it by saying, I go in it from a consumer level. And yeah, I get that, you go in from a consumer level, but I think as someone who is trying to dispense information, especially in something that is called the Alpha Detective, or if I was doing it, it would be just that A Look At series. And then I think you should probably, like, just have a base amount of knowledge. You only need to play a game for half an hour. Like my Risk of Rain video, I played that for half an hour and decided, okay, my first impression is good, time to put it into a formal video, then I recorded the video. So, yeah, I'd like to do a thing like that from time to time. Not ultra regularly, just to kind of tide myself over. Don't worry, this is not going to turn into like some channel that just pumps out random gameplay videos for no good reason. Yeah, that's like a thing that's talked about. Oh, and I guess I should probably also say, and honestly, putting this in at 15 minutes through the video is a terrible idea, because it's probably one of the more important things that I'll cover. Lore videos, right? So, lore videos actually take just the vast majority of work. They take far longer than anything else to make. But, I don't know, views have been really weak recently, and I'm not exactly sure how I can fix all this. I mean, first of all, I need to work on my commentary skills. That's something I'm actively working on and I'm trying with. But, I don't know, like, I moved to the new filming method, and I think it looks better. A lot of people really like it. But, I don't know, I guess it's just weird when you see, like, what, say, the lore box got, or what Noble gets, and then when you try to do things that you perceive to be at least in the same kind of tier of quality. I don't know, I think actually one thing I need to do is talk slower. It's a problem for me, actually, in general, where... And I'm not trying to sound big-headed, but my brain is literally going faster than my, like, other parts of my body can deal with. Like, there's times when I'm speaking, and I just jump forward, like, 3 syllables. And I have to cut it out. It doesn't happen that often, do I? I'm not getting, like, Alzheimer's when I'm 19 or something, but... Yeah, stuff like that's a problem. I actually have a giant problem when I'm writing. Don't worry, I can write. My handwriting is awful because I'm a computer guy, but that's fine. My thing is, though, right? If I am writing a long word, like because... I'm just thinking, yeah, okay, because I'm writing it, that's cool. Then for some reason, my hand just like jumps forward 3 letters, skips out half the word, and then I just look down at the piece of paper and I'm like, hang on a second, that's wrong. It's literally just my brain is going faster than my hand because I'm thinking through the letters faster than I'm writing them, and I think that may be a problem with how I do the old commentaries and things. I don't know. It takes a long time to be good at commentaries, and I'm really happy with how far I've came along in the last, like... I'd say 6, 7, 8 months. Like, goddamn, looking at the old stuff, it was shite. One thing that actually is kind of funny, so this whole topic of getting the press access with Blizzard and all that cool stuff, well, I saw this post. I basically just one day in a wave of narcissism decided to Google my channel name, and it turns out in August, someone ended up linking me to Zarim, and Zarim said, oh sure, I'll check the channel out. And I looked at the video, so that was just as I had transitioned to the new format. I wasn't as good at talking as I am now. It was really scrappy in comparison. I was just like, no! Why did Zarb find out about my channel when it was good? So, yeah, Zarb, please reevaluate. No, he didn't actually say anything. But yeah, I don't know. I think what I should really do is just send out a covert army of people onto the WoW forums and all the different places, and then just manage to sneak my name into various videos to try to get the blues. So yeah, that's a thing. Honestly, I think the next time I could actually get blue attention is via doing guides in the next major patch. The last time, well, the only time that I personally got blue attention was one of the blue forum people. Is it Talcarius or Talcarius, or I don't know what her name, her in-game, not in-game, on forum handle is. But that's the last time that I had. It was pretty cool, actually. It was one of my guide posts on the WoW forums, and I got it blue tagged. So that was cool, and if that could happen more, then maybe Blizzard would know who I am, and maybe if they knew who I was, then I could, get more things. It's funny, actually. Just on the topic of Blizzard and media, I know this sounds weird, and of course I'm biased, because I'm coming at this from the angle of a YouTuber, but they seem to give, I don't know, nearly an unwarranted amount of support to podcasts, where, they completely forgo YouTubers. It's funny, when I see who gets the interviews, and who gets various things like that, there's podcasts which, in terms of numbers, people like me, Danger Dolan, and especially people like Noble are beating. Yeah, it's the podcasts who are the people with all the contacts, they're the people with all the, all that kind of back and forth with Blizzard who get interviews and things like that. So it's weird. I don't know. It's almost, I nearly feel like when I'm email Blizzard, I need to be like, okay, here is the exact amount of views that I get all the time. My BlizzCon coverage got X amount of hundreds of thousands of views, blah, 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 blah. And just be ultra businessy about it. I don't know. I hate being businessy, because it's weird. The only way that I know how to do a business email is, like, you literally sound like you're born in 1930 or something. Or, oh, blah, 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 kind regards, Michael. Yeah. That's not me. I'm really chill and casual and shitty at formal things. I don't know. I know. Right, okay. So they have an office in Ireland, and they have an office in Versailles in France. I just need to get... okay, I've got it, right? Now, this is going to be a crowdsourcing fund effort. So what's going to happen is I'm going to do an Indiegogo campaign with a 50 grand thing, and you guys are going to give me 50 grand. And what I'm going to do is buy a series of awesome cars and different things, and then I'm going to take the remaining 500, and I'm going to put it into muffins, right? I'm going to buy an absolute fuck ton of muffins. I'm going to put them in baskets. I will just bombard all the CMs with muffin baskets. They'd say, I appreciate what you do, give me a beta key. Apart from Bashiok, because according to Twitter, he really doesn't like Community Manager Appreciation Day. There's like all these snarky comments coming. I know it's just a sense of humor, but it did make me chuckle. Anyway, so yeah, I just need to basically bribe and pay off every single person at Blizzard and come up with some sort of cunning and dastardly Machiavellian scheme. Mwahaha. Well, with me revealing that I probably have all 3 of the Dark Triad of personality traits, I'm going to leave the video, so thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. I mean, I hope you enjoyed it. I don't think you did, because it's been about 22 minutes of literally absolutely nothing of any interest to people other than me. So, hey, if you made this this far, thank you. That's pretty cool, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and just a little addendum in the end. So, this was originally just meant to be a little announcement video for my Reddit. I then realized I essentially just copied what Danger Dolan did yesterday for his Q&A video. Ah, shit. It's still going live, because I have nothing else to go live with.